Now we'll look more carefully at percent. Percent is a ratio out of 100. So 100 represents the whole. So in example 1, it says write the ratio as percent. 37 out of 100 college students started and completed a bachelor's degree within 4 years. So because it says out of 100, this 37 is our percent. So we write 37%. Look at this picture. This is 100 little boxes, so it represents the percent. The whole is 100. So we look at the number shaded. This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then 4 more. So this is 84%. This is a little bit like those improper fractions we looked at before. The box is still 100, so this first box would represent 100%, and this second box represents 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15%. So together we have 115%. Notice that because it's more than 100, it's more than one whole. To change the percent to a decimal, we divide by 100, or move the decimal place 2 places to the left. Okay, and the way I think about that is this percent sign, if you turn it a little bit, looks a little bit like a division. It also has 2 zeros, which should make you think of 100. So this percent sign is really telling you divide by 100. So when we see this 7%, you need to think 7 divided by 100. Or move the decimal place 2 places to the left. It's right at the end here. So we get 0.07. Usually we put a 0 in front just so we don't lose that decimal place. So again, this is the same thing. We see this percent sign. So we want to think 32.8 divide by 100. Or move the decimal place 2 places to the left. So we get 0.328. And we usually put a 0 in front just so we don't lose our percent sign. Our decimal point. To change the decimal to percent, we do the opposite. We multiply by 100, or move the decimal place 2 places to the right. So if I have 0.052, I go 1 place, 2 places to the right, and then I put my decimal point. So I end up with 5.2, and then I write the percent sign. To change a percent to a fraction, we place the percent over 100 and we reduce. Remember, percent means divide by 100. So 50 divided by 100. In this case, we can divide both by 50. So we get 1/2. And that's my fraction. So this one says as a fraction. Again, remember that the percent sign means divide by 100. So I have 1/9 divided by 100. In this case, it might be a little bit easier to write it out sideways instead of up and down. Remember, to divide fractions, we keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, and then flip the second number. Keep it, change it, flip it. And then we multiply straight across. So we have 1 on top, 900 on the bottom. To change a fraction to a percent, divide to change the fraction to a decimal, and then change the decimal to a percent, which is that multiplying by 100. So here, in example 9, I would read straight down, do 15 divided by 4, and that changes this to a decimal. And then if I want this as a percent, I need to change it to a percent. So I move it 2 places over to the right, and I get 375%. Now I want to look at this for a second. You see how this is an improper fraction? That means it's bigger than 1 whole. That means that our percent should be bigger than 100 because it also has to be bigger than 1 whole. Write the fraction as a percent, rounding to the nearest hundredth of a percent. So we'll do our division to change it to a decimal. And we get 0.583333, and it keeps going. We don't want to round until the very end of the problem. To change this to a percent, then we have to multiply by 100 or move the decimal place 2 places to the right. So we get 58.333, and it keeps going. And then it says round to the nearest hundredth of a percent. So after you change it, you need to find the hundredth spot, which is right here. The number after it tells us to keep it there, and then we don't want anything after it. So we end up with 58.33%. One more problem. In a recent survey of 2,469 adults, 1,564 indicated that they dined at a fast food chain in the past month. What percent of adults have dined at a fast food chain in the past month? So this one's a percent. Remember, percents are a part out of a whole. So our part is the 1,564 out of the 2,469. It gives us a fraction. So we can do that division in order to change it. So we have 0.63345, and it keeps going. And then we'll multiply by 100 or move it 2 places to the right. So we get 63.345, and it keeps going. And then it says round to the nearest tenth. So the tenth spot's here. This number tells us to keep this one. We don't want everything after it. So we have 63.3%.